Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us. That's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, listen up, cabbies. I got your assignments. Riga, 643. Wheeler, 148. Nado, 804. And all of you need to join host HP and Father Malone as they examine one of the greatest sitcoms in television history, Taxi. In Night, Mr. Walters, a Taxi podcast. Banter, 0, like your boxing record.
Night, Mr. Walters.
We're in Way Media.
Welcome back to Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast, where this season we're taking a look at George A. Romero's 1980s series, Tales from the Darkside. I'm Father Malone, and sharing the Midnight View with me are the projection booth's Mike White.
Eddie did it.
And the TheKulturecast, Chris Stachiw.
I prefer to go by Isha Candisha. If you could see me right now, I'm just drooling like crazy.
So much drool.
Oh my God.
Dripping.
Everywhere.
Gross.
It really is horrific foaminess. Tonight, we're taking a look at 2 episodes from season 2. They are The Trouble with Mary Jane and Ursa Minor. The Trouble with Mary Jane is season 2, episode 9. It originally aired on November the 24th, 1985. Written by Edith Swenson, she would go on to write 10 episodes of Tales from the Darkside, 6 episodes of its sister series Monsters, and 11 episodes of Charmed. And it was directed by TJ Castronova, who, when he isn't tending bar at Mario's on the TV series Taxi, is the showrunner here on Tales from the Darkside. Now, ordinarily, I would assume that somebody had dropped out, that the showrunner has stepped in and directed an episode. But the fact that this is starring Phyllis, Diller, and Lawrence Tierney leads me to believe that he actually was the assigned director here. And as I said, this does star Phyllis Diller. Now she was. We also encountered her over on Night Gallery, so she's kind of an anthology hero. She was the lead in Pamela's Voice, and also stars Lawrence Tierney and Tanya Fenmore. She's the young Aisha Candisha girl. She was the young Mrs. Weinstein in the Twilight Zone, the movie Kick the Can episode directed by Steven Spielberg. This is about two psychic hucksters who are trying to cure a young girl who's possessed of a demon so they can get a $50,000 reward. What'd you think of this one, Mike?
Well, I know I'm going to sound like Chris right now when I say that this is a blackout skit that has been stretched too far. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else. Like, I thought, Mike's throwing me under the bus.
Oh, no.
Like Chris for a second.
There are no such things as silencers for handguns.
Right, yeah. Bump stocks should not be illegal.
I am the Black Hitler. That's what Chris says all the time. Yeah, this was repetitive, disgusting, puzzling, and yeah, I love Phyllis Diller. I love Lawrence Tierney, and it just felt like they were wasted in this. Oh man, and just wrongly used. What did you think, Chris?
This for me feel like Mike said. I'm going to sound like Mike sounding like me. Yes, it is a blackout sketch, but I do think also if we were to have this show be a thing now, and I mean it is, I mean Black Mirror and other things are like this. They would do this, but it would be more akin to the Warrens, which I think is kind of what this is probably hewing towards. Our dear friend Ed and Lorraine, who I only think of as Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, which makes me like them more than think that they were just a bunch of hucksters. Because, I mean, they kind of were. I mean, look, I ain't got anything wrong with that. A huckster is never a bad thing, but I appreciate a huckster who can admit they're a huckster, and the Warrens, they never did, is kind of the thing. And, you know, whatever, make people feel good about themselves, talk to, you know, dead people's relatives, that's fine. I mean, I get it. But this episode kind of traffics in that a little bit, and the two characters played by Phyllis Diller and Lawrence Tierney, like it doesn't really go anywhere. And once you realize that there's two spirits being brought into this, it feels kind of obvious what the punchline's gonna be. And then the punchline is exactly that. And to your point already, Mike, and I'm assuming Father Malone will echo this might be one of the most disgusting episodes of anything I've ever seen, because just at some point it's like natural drool, and another time it's like a sodium bicarb tablet. And I much prefer the sodium bicarb, because when it's actual drool, it's fucking disgusting. Like, and I'm not someone who gets grossed out by like bodily fluids and stuff, far from it, but just like close-ups of a girl just like oozing fucking spit for no reason is awful. And when it's this child in particular, it's even worse for whatever reason.
Because she looks really sickly. That's why. And I got sick just rethinking the scene in my mind. I chose not to rewatch this episode specifically to avoid the disgustingness on display here. The makeup on her looks pretty good. She does look really sick. And so when she's naturally just I don't even want to talk about it. When she's the natural drool is really, really gross. And then thank God they get some bicarbonate in there. But like, why weren't they just doing it from the beginning? Why wasn't she just frothing from the beginning? And yeah, talk about wasted. I assume you hire Phyllis Diller to your comedy episode thinking she's going to comedy it up. But if you cast her in the straight man role, what are you asking her to do exactly in your very unfunny screenplay?
She's got one purpose, which is, what are you doing now? We shouldn't be doing this. Well, you know, I'm like, oh, so you're the harpy. Okay. And Phyllis Diller can play a great harpy, but yeah, she should be the one who's trying to do this, and Lawrence Tierney should be the grumpy husband. Oh, my dingbat wife. You know, like he's got the voice for it. You should have all that stuff. You know, it's like, please just make him the straight man, if you even need a straight man. I mean, again, to Chris's point, maybe they're the Warrens. Maybe they're both a couple of hucksters, and maybe they're both trying to do this. Or actually, they're not even trying to be hucksters. Like, he sincerely is trying to solve this demon possession, to unpossess this girl, and he just keeps making things worse. But Lawrence Tierney can be funny, and I've seen him in funny things. I've loved him in Seinfeld, but he should have been like the bumbling husband who's just, oh, I got it this time, honey. You know, this time I've got this pig and I'm doing this. Because each time they go and visit Mary Jane, and I have no trouble with Mary Jane, every time they go and visit Mary Jane, stakes are raised, but they're not raised that much. And it should be a real big thing, because this is a little girl who's possessed by a demon, and then eventually possessed by two demons, because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
You made the goddamn Mary Jane joke before I did.
Sorry.
I'm really disappointed you didn't mention the comedic stylings of Lawrence Tierney in Naked Gun. Remember how he's just randomly a naked gun at the end of the movie?
Yes. Yes, I do. That was, a weird walk-on cameo from him.
Yeah. We've actually, I think what's funny is, Father Malone, you mentioned encountering Phyllis Diller already. We on Rankin and on Bass actually encountered Phyllis Diller in Mad
Monster Party. Yeah.
I love
Thinking
that.
about Fang. Yeah. Thinking about her husband.
Equally as unfunny there as she is.
Oh no. She's funnier there.
Funnier there, but that's, you know what? You're probably right because she's completely unfunny here.
Well, she's not trying to be funny here, but that's the thing.
Right, which makes no fucking sense.
Nobody directed her to be funny, and the script is not supporting her to be funny. Why, as an actress, would she or an actor have any instinct other than just to play drama there? Because Lawrence Tierney is bumbling about. I think they thought this was going to be a, swap the roles, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and Neighbors. He's going to be the comedian, and she's going to be the grumpy one here, but. Lawrence Tierney can be very funny the way Leslie Nielsen used to be funny, which was just by being themselves, just straight drama. Like Lawrence Tierney's funny when he's being a fucking scary old man.
Oh yeah, like Red, that Chris Gore film where it's basically like the joke from The Simpsons. Tube. Yeah, the whole thing of like, what are you doing calling up here? I'm gonna track you down. And he just like lays on all of these threats and stuff. It's based on an old like prank phone call tape, and then. Yeah, he's great in that.
The Tube Bar, remember?
Yes, thank you. I wondered when you said tube. I was like, tubes? What? I was thinking of the band.
Yeah, you cocksucker. You come down here. I'm going to kill you.
Mostly Zach, way before Mostly Zach.
Oh, they clearly, the Simpsons prank calls are clearly based on it. Some of them were even like, I want a man to hug and kiss.
Yeah.
Amanda,
standards are too high.
Amanda hug and kiss is
let me speak.
Finally got to do my Barney. I'm so happy.
Let me speak to the Warrens for a second, just because you brought them up. I believe.
Were you gonna? I thought you were gonna get like some candles and a Ouija board out there for a second. Let me speak to the Warrens for a second. Holy shit, we're
the
going.
Warrens are here with me now. Are the Warrens here?
Yeah.
I see an E. I believe it's an E. Is there anyone here whose last name maybe a pet of some sort?
Yeah.
Did somebody's relative die eating a chicken palm? all the hands go up. You ever see that at the Long Island
with the hair? Teresa. Teresa. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Long Island medium.
Was she the pet psychic, or is that
no? Long Island medium. She's just like she's got the big hair and she talks like this. I swear, I see your sister is standing behind me. I can hear her whispering in my ear. Yeah, Fran Drescher, the psychic.
I believe Lorraine Warren, she may not have been a genuine psychic, but I believe that she believed that she was.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. All kidding aside, I know of the two of them, which of the one I believe, and I know who was the one who was just like, hey, everybody, I kind of look like Jim Jones.
And here's the thing. I think Ed Warren did believe that she was clued in and did as much as he could to participate, but was not above fudging things just so they can keep their name out there and keep the money coming in,
And I do think that they probably loved each other immensely. I'm sure that was like for real too. Yeah. I get the sense there, but
I mean, it was a polyamorous situation. There was an assistant that lived with them that Ed was involved with and stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Blowing my mind here. Was that Lily Taylor in the movie?
Right.
It was Ron Livingston.
Wow.
They conveniently left that stuff out when they were adding all this new fiction to their life story.
Well, that would would have that been the name of the porno? The Conjuring, the devil made us do it. I mean, the devil three-way, was that like the devil's? Yeah, I mean, hey,
devil's three-way. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You have sex with Satan.
It writes itself.
Yeah. But that's what we're talking about here. Isha Kandisha is the purveyor of sex and lust.
Isha Kandisha. She sounds like a Martin Lawrence character.
It sounds like thrush. Isn't that what like that mouth fungus? Like, isn't that what I got that Isha Kandisha? I bet you do.
This is just a wasted opportunity all around because everyone is talented here. Everyone behind the scenes, everyone on front of the camera, they're all good. This is really frustrating from Tales from the Dark Side, I got to say, because most episodes, even if I didn't like it necessarily, I find something to enjoy. And this one, I honestly did not.
No, I thought that the main girl was very good, very talented. All of the drool aside, though
All of the drool aside.
I kept thinking though of Felisa Rose from Sleepaway Camp. Every time I looked at her though, and I was like, oh, she's got something else going on under those sheets other than just goat legs. But
that's because her performance consisted entirely of having her mouth wide open and
yeah, all the time.
That's true. That frozen pose at the end of Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Alyssa Rose is just constantly. You ever see photos with her with fans? She does the fucking face. It's terrifying.
Well, when that's your claim to fame, when that's what you're known for, you think that's what this actress does? She's just like, hey, I recognize you from that Tales from the Dark episode.
Oh, you mean The Trouble with Mary Jane? Well, let me tell you about working with Phyllis Diller.
And my goat leg.
And
the goat legs are the best part.
For Anita Dangler, I'm just like, she's trying hard, really trying hard, but I'm just, she's wearing a fucking tiara. I'm like, what is going on?
Wandered in from a Marx Brothers movie. I don't know what year is this?
Yes.
I don't know. 1945?
Earlier, Jesus. Her. Yeah. She's from 33.
I just want I just want the zoom in on the mouth of the girl of the mouth.
She feeds her soup in the first time. We don't see her. We just see the reactions. We see the bent spoon. It's not pea soup. Why are they not using pea soup at that point?
I don't know.
Every fucking instinct was incorrect here.
Yep. Including Phyllis Diller's hair, which I'm pretty sure was just Olivia Newton-John's hair at the time as well.
Oh, that's a wig, right?
I've got to assume so. I don't know.
Phyllis was a wig gal.
Oh, was she a wig gal? Her wigs.
Oh,
yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a good looking wig, but it definitely has some Olivia Newton.
Where's the biopic about Phyllis Diller, who was the actual real trailblazer in comedy, considering everyone is so fucking navel-gazingly obsessed with stand-up comedy now? They made that Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, this fucking fictionalized account of female comics at the time, but Phyllis Diller was actually doing it, man.
Did you see that documentary about her?
I did. It was fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Her room filled with jokes, like the card catalog of jokes. I was like, oh my God, this woman was so serious about her art.
And, you know, it's like Ginger Rogers, you know, she did the same dance routine, just backwards and in heels. That was Phyllis Diller in the world of comedy. So I'm going to leave it. We're going to leave this episode with that. We're going to leave a good place to leave it on. Goodbye, Phyllis Diller. We still love you. Moving on to Ursa Minor. This is season 2, episode 10. Aired originally on December the 1st, 1985. Written by Ted Gershuni, from a story by John Sladek, directed by Ted Gershuni. This one stars Marilyn Jones, Timothy Carhart, Jamie O'Hare, and Malachi McCourt. Story of a young girl's birthday present. It's a bear. What'd you think of this one, Chris?
The best name of someone who's just cast in something is Malachi McCourt, by the way. I mean, what a great name to just have, by the way. I think it's fine, you know, in terms of it being like a similarly mean-spirited episode in the vein of mean-spirited episodes we've seen before. I would say this one kind of, it might take the cake in a lot of ways, because we've seen women being murdered. We've seen children dying, and now we're seeing women and children dying at the same time. So, you know, I mean, we're covering all the bases. So I'm sure Erica Schultz in her book about children dying may have written about this episode of Tales from the Dark Side. Because, I mean, look, this show can tend to go dark, and this episode goes pretty dark, I feel like, at least in kind of where it ends up. I think it's kind of, again, maybe a little on the nose. It's not a blackout sketch, as it were, but the kid's stuffed animal comes to. I feel like while we haven't seen it maybe in this show, there definitely was an episode with Kenneth Walsh with a dog?
Kenneth Welsh, yes, in Twilight Zone 85.
And a dog figurine?
Yes, that the wife is for her birthday, and he's cheating on her, and he's got a boning knife. He's, yeah.
It reminded me of that.
Very
because
much
it's like,
so.
again, like some sort of not homunculus, but kind of like a golem. It's like this thing that you've kind of summoned into the world. But here I kind of don't get it because it ends up going so poorly. But I think it's fun if it's a little dark. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, it did really feel like I had seen this before. The reliance on the Goldilocks story was interesting too, because I mean, it's a weird story to latch on to because Goldilocks has that whole thing of going in and trying the porridge and trying the bed and trying the this. And, it's just the girl, no mom, no dad. Of course, there's mama bear, papa bear type of stuff, but it's just like, why are you latching on to that? Oh, who spilled this porridge all over the place? And then just like when she gets the doll and, oh, yeah, this is Goldilocks. I'm like, it doesn't really fit as well as I think the writers thought that it fit. Yeah, it felt like we had seen this, and I don't want to say the other one was better, but it just was very familiar. It was like, oh, we're treading these same boards again.
Yeah, I agree. And this one starts out frustrating for me, but the mean-spiritedness of the ending ultimately makes me really enjoy the episode. But it reminded me a bit of Child's Play, which come out after this, which the whole "it's not me, it's the doll." But with Child's Play, the kid is very frustrated that mom won't believe him. This girl doesn't give a shit because she knows the doll's alive.
Right. Well, it reminds me a lot of Talking Tina, from the original Twilight Zone, the one with Telly Savalas, where it's just, who's going to believe this guy that this doll is threatening him? It's kind of like didn't Krusty the Clown, wasn't there a Krusty the Clown doll that was attacking Homer in an episode?
I literally have this doll sitting on my kitchen table that I bought it at Target, a replica of it.
I've been seeing the ads for it. Oh, you're going to have to show it to us before.
Yeah, I bought one, the thing with the pull my string on the back. Yep. I love you. Yeah.
Problem. Somebody set this doll to evil.
Right.
See, here you go. Yeah, they flips it to. Yep.
That was a very good Teamsters voice from The Simpsons, Father Malone.
Good
job.
The sort of gaslighting part of this episode, as far as like, this is happening. No, it's not. Yes, it is. And it's set up that this, it is very much like that Twilight Zone 85 in that this supernatural inanimate object is now animate in a situation where this marriage is dissolving. This is about a woman sort of trying to be upwardly mobile, and her husband is a fucking layabout dick who just wakes up all the time, doesn't remember buying the fucking doll for the girl. Did he buy the doll for the girl? The doll just showed up.
It just showed up.
You'd feel the
forgot
same
her
way.
Birthday.
You'd feel the same way if you lost Sigourney Weaver to a guy with a fucking nuclear reactor on his back. Come on.
That's true. Timothy Carhart is the nasal spray guy from Ghostbusters. Okay. I don't have to take this from you. I've got plenty of people dying to abuse me. That scene. Yeah, he's the guy.
I don't know him from much else.
I've seen him in a few other things as an insufferable prick because he just comes off as an insufferable prick. I'm sure he's a very nice guy and he's a good actor, but yeah, he
has that energy.
He's got a William Atherton-ness of him,
A little Charles Rocket in there as well from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, the smug. There's a bit of smug.
Yes, smug, smarmy. Yeah.
And smug as a father is always a good look, especially to a daughter. Especially to a daughter. Yeah, he's a weird. I mean, I'm not saying he deserves it in this episode, but
well, what I like is the episode kind of does a bait and switch because we're given him as the villain. This may as well be there's a creep show episode that fucking echoes this as well with Kevin Dillon. It's like a child who loves horror and the stepdad doesn't like it, and the creatures are going to come help the kid. It's sort of the same thing here, but we're given the father as the villain here, but really the bear is the villain that they should all be focusing on.
Right. They're about to find out real quickly that inanimate objects can fuck you up, and that's. It's weird. I mean, I appreciate what the episode does, but I don't know. Like, the dad's not really that big of a problem.
No, he's not. But what happens is the doll gets introduced into this dynamic that's already fractured, and then instead of focusing on the problem at hand, they just all fucking squabble about nonsense or not believing each other or other plans. And there's a bear in your house that is fucking shit up and it's coming for you. And then, you got to rope in Malachi McCourt to give us the fucking subtext as text sequence. That's the part of the episode that I didn't like, because everything else I really dug up until the fucking ending where the bear is released and the arm that comes through their door there's a massive thing out there. There's an annihilation sized beast waiting behind that door that is about to devour our protagonists. Holy fuck. This was on Sunday nights. Enjoy your school week.
I love it though, because like I love when the show gets mean and I love when it gets really mean. I mean, do I love it for the characters in the episode? Not really, honestly, but fuck them. This is an anthology show. In a lot of ways, I have as much attachment to these characters as the episode will give me. It's not a movie. And even if it was a movie, fictional character. But in an anthology, 50% of the time, the people die before the end or by the end of whatever it is. You're kind of trained to respond to these things that way. But this episode's ending is it's like when the woman got killed by the phone. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Fuck it, huh? Fuck it, we're doing it. We're gonna just fuck it. Who cares?
This is the meanest anthology series I think we're gonna run.
Try to enjoy the daylight, dickheads. Like that's pretty much.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for the meanness.
Yeah, the 6-foot-long Freddy Krueger-esque bear arm is fucking horrifying. It's so long that it goes through the door, comes out, and stretches onto the wall and goes like 5 feet down the wall and then stretches back out. It's like, fuck this. They're lucky it doesn't rip the wall off and pull them out of the house like a giant.
And it's so long and thin because I'm sure that's a practical consideration, but all that did for me was make my mind think it's even weirder than you could possibly imagine what the rest of it.
Yeah, it's not just a bear. It's like some sort of freaky fucking Cthulhu bear thing. Yeah.
Some sort of a Wendigo,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think. There was a horror movie, TV show. Sorry, I'm kind of like going off into the deep end, but like with the bear's picnic, like a 45 going around kind of thing. And I was just like, oh, that kind of belonged in this episode. The whole idea of the fairy tale come to life type of thing.
They wanted to touch on it. It just doesn't feel like they went far enough.
Right.
This one is ripe for remake. Tales from the Darkside 2.0. Because I really did enjoy this one.
Isn't there something on one of those like Hulu things, that the Blumhouse things, where they kind of did something like this, where it was like a child's like toy that was a bear? I think there was something.
It just happened. Yeah, it just came out this year because there were a couple possessed things. Yeah.
I mean, again, you're right, Father Malone. If somebody's not doing it, somebody will, because children's toys are ripe for that. I mean, and this kind of thing is always going to be a thing that little kids want to have, a stuffed animal.
It will never be free of the inanimate object come to life. It's just too potent an idea.
Imaginary. That's the name of it.
Yeah. That was like literally.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. My head is a swirl with too much content these days.
A good pull on that one, Chris.
Well.
Ditto. I thought you were going for a Blazing Saddles thing. My head is a whirl with vapors.
Mr. Taggart, you use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Ditto, you provincial putz.
Headley.
Oh, man.
All right. On the next episode of Midnight Viewing, we'll be taking a look at the next 2 episodes of season 2. Those are Effect and Cause and Monsters in My Room. Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast, is a proud member of Weirding Way Media Group, and our theme song was composed by HP with an assist by Donald Rubenstein. Until next time, what are you working on? Where can people find it, Mike White?
You can find everything that I do over at weirdingwaymedia.com, except for one thing, and that one thing is Ranking on Bond, where Chris and I and our dear friend Richard Haddam talk about James Bond once a month, and coming up pretty darn soon, and probably by the time this episode comes out, we'll have one out there with you, Father Malone, Live and Let Die. All about the blaxploitation James Bond, which was quite a treat to talk about. So yeah, definitely check out everything and come on over to Chris's Patreon at patreon.com/culturecast or my Patreon at patreon.com/projection booth and pay us some money, and you'll get to hear those wonderful sounds of us making mouth noises all about James Bond. How about you, Chris?
Also, mouth noise found at weirdingwaymedia.com. My show, The Culture Cast, once a week, twice a week sometimes bonus episode even. Yeah, that's where you can find what I do, weirdingwaymedia.com. You, Father Malone?
Well, I'm on the same network, and if you want to help out midnight viewing, go to patreon.com/Father Malone. Subscribers get episodes early and commercial free, and we've got a lot of really cool bonus content just for the Patreon people coming up very soon, so head on over there. But if you just want to support the show and money is tight and God knows, isn't it? You can just give us a 5-star review over on the Apple Podcast, or you can just tell your friend, hey, listen to this podcast. Thank you once again for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight.
Dickheads.
Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.